I see Christina, I see Meredith. Hello, welcome to Spooky Science Night, everyone. Thank you for joining me. It is so nice to meet you all. I am just gonna get this pulled up on my laptop and then we are good to go. There I am. All right, if you're in the comment section, I'm gonna be just a little bit delayed, so I will try to get to you. All right, so we are getting started with Spooky Science Night, everyone. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Victoria Thinmintius S'more Shortbreadius Peanut Butter Pate Caramel Delightio. But you can call me Dr. Cookie for short. That's what my friends call me. I am Girl Scouts of Citrus's mad scientist, and I work down at Trefoil Laboratories. Now, our laboratory is shut down right now for social distancing measures, so lucky for you, I was able to bring all my materials home with me to do some experiments with you girls tonight. How lucky are you? So, down at the laboratory, we start off every day with the Girl Scout promise, and I really miss that. So, I was thinking that we could start off tonight that same way so that I can remember what it's like to be at the laboratory. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the Girl Scout promise. On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. Oh, it's like I'm back at the laboratory. All right, calm down, Dr. Cookie. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we are gonna do 2 experiments today. 2, 1 and 1, 2. And the first one we are getting started with is our ooey gooey density experiment. Now, what is density? Density is the measurement of mass per unit of volume. What does that mean? That basically means that if an object is heavy and tightly packed together, then it's gonna have a higher density. Now, if an object is light and it takes up lots of space, then it's gonna have a relatively low density. So, some examples of objects with high density and low density. Some objects with high density, you're gonna think a steel marble, or maybe a medicine ball that's at a gym. If you want to think low density, maybe the air we breathe or the gases that come out of my chemicals at the laboratory. So how will this experiment work? Our ooey gooey density. What's going to happen is that when liquids do not mix together, they actually will stack on top of each other in a glass based on their densities. The liquids with the lightest densities will be at the top, and the liquids with the highest densities will be at the bottom. So we are going to stack our ooey gooey liquids based on their densities. In addition to that, we have some Halloween items in Dr. Cookie's magic bowl that we are going to add to the cup. And we are going to see whether they float or sink with each of the liquids. So, items will either float or sink based on their density compared to the liquid's density. A way to imagine this is when you're out on the ocean, floating on your sailboat like Dr. Cookie does on the weekends. Oh, I miss my sailboat. But when you're out on the ocean on your sailboat, how are you floating? It's floating because the sailboat has a lower density than the water it's on. So we will see how our Halloween items stack up against our ooey gooey liquids. For this experiment, you are going to need 1 glass. It doesn't matter what size, but your ingredients how much of each ingredient will depend on how big your glass is. So you need a glass, a measuring cup to put your liquids in the glass, and then moving on to our ooey gooey liquids, we are going to start with our jar of tar. Now, back home, some of you might call this molasses. This is a jar of tar. This is not molasses. Next on our ooey gooey list, we have our witch's brew. Now the scientists back at the laboratory mixed me up this nice clear brew so that way it stacks up neatly in our cup. Back at home, you might have golden syrup or honey, or you might have your own witch's brew that you're working with. That is quite all right. Next up, we have our bat snot. Now, some of you might use this for cooking at home. Do you know where it comes from? This is going to be our 3rd liquid, and we're gonna have one more, but it's not up yet. We are going to have some water and some food coloring mixed in with our water so we get to see it neatly stacked up. So I have some red food coloring, but whatever color you want is fine. All right, and then in addition to that, we have our items. So just as a preview, I have a box of boogers. That's one of our items found in Dr. Cookie's magic bowl. All right, so if you're ready, let's get started on our ooey gooey density. We are going to start with our jar of tar. Now, you can pour this straight into the glass. You can measure it out. Dr. Cookie likes to live life on the edge. She's gonna just pour it straight in. So, if you are measuring it out, let's say go with 1/4 of a cup. If you're not measuring it out, if you're living like Dr. Cookie, let's just pour some in. Get up close on that. Oh yeah, that's some good tar right there, yes. Now, as you can see, there are no other liquids in the cup right now, so there's nothing to compare our tar's density to. So let's add some other liquids. Let's start with our witch's brew. As I mentioned, if you are measuring it out, you can go with 1/4 of a cup, 1/3 of a cup, whatever you feel is going to fit inside the glass or the cup that you are using. All right, Dr. Cookie's gonna pour our witch's brew. Now, the trick, Dr. Cookie's secret method. You have to pour slow. Dr. Cookie doesn't like to do things slow, but you have to pour slow so that way you don't start mixing your liquids together. Oh, look at the ooey gooiness. All right, as you can see, our witch's brew is a lower density than our tar. So it's stacked on top of it. You can see that right. It would help if Dr. Cookie knew where her camera was. There we go. So that is our first ooey gooey liquid that we are adding to our tar. Next, we are going to go to our water. So again, if you're measuring out 1/4 of a cup, 1/3 of a cup, whatever you feel is gonna fit inside the glass you're using. Dr. Cookie will be right back. This witch's brew is potent. All right, we have our water, and to mix it up, we're gonna add Dr. Cookie's favorite color. Let's get some red up in here. Oh yeah. That is gonna be our water. And I have something to mix it with, but as you can see, it already basically mixed itself. Now, I'm not going to tell you what we use this for in the laboratory. I'll let your imagination go. Okay, so as you remember, Dr. Cookie said you pour it real slow. So we are going to pour this slowly into the cup. A turkey baster actually helps as well. Oh yeah, look at that. So far we have our tar, which is the highest density, our witch's brew, which is the middle density, and then our water, which is our lightest density. Now we still have one more ooey gooey liquid. Let's try it. Bat snot. Like I said, some of you use this to cook at home. You don't wanna. All right, we're gonna pour that in our measuring cup. You have no idea how many bats I had to catch for this program. Dr. Cookie was out all day getting this snot ready for us. All right, so when you're ready, we're gonna go ahead and pour our bat snot in. See, Dr. Cookie doesn't need a measure. She's got this. Now, as you can see, our bat snot is the lightest density, the lowest density. Can you imagine? I thought those little bats would have been the highest. So we have our tar, our witch's brew, and some of you might have honey or golden syrup right there. Dr. Cookie doesn't know what those are, but they might be right here in your glass. Our water and our bat snot. So those are how they rank in density. Now, as I promised, we still have to go into Dr. Cookie's magic bowl. I wonder what we'll find in here. Oh, a spider. Let's see where the spider might go. Do we have any guesses of where the spider might land in this glass? Do we think that it has a higher density than all the liquids? Or do we think maybe it will fall in between the water and the witch's brew? Let's see. So, it looks like it's starting to go down in the bat snot. It's floating right in the middle of the bat snot. So it's about right at the same density as that, but it actually looks, if Dr. Cookie's glasses will work, it looks like it's getting to the bottom of that bat snot. So, it might be that the spider has a higher density than the bat snot, but a lower density than the water. We'll give it a few seconds to decide where it's gonna end up. Let's see what else we have in Dr. Cookie's magic bowl. Oh, an eyeball. Let's see where the eyeball ends up. Oh, it looks like the eyeball is a higher density than the bat snot, but a lower density than the water. All right, I think we have one more item that we can do in Dr. Cookie's magic bowl. Achoo! Oh, we got some snot in here, some boogies. Why don't we try one of those? Oh, that went straight down. So Dr. Cookie's boogie is a lower density than the tar, but a higher density than all three of the other liquids. So it's sitting right there, if you can see it. Man, that boogie had some power. All right, so that is our ooey gooey density experiment. We'll take one more look at how all those items stacked up. You can see the eyeball still sitting there, the spider's right in between there, and Dr. Cookie's boogie is down there. All right, so we've got past our ooey gooey density, and now we are going to move on to our erupting pumpkin. Now, why might we make a pumpkin erupt? That's a great question. Our erupting pumpkin has to do with chemical reactions. Now, some of you might not know, but chemical reactions, they're happening all around us throughout our daily lives. They're not just in science labs where Dr. Cookie is. Think about, say when you leave your bike outside and it rains. What happens to your bike? Well, it rusts, doesn't it? That is a chemical reaction right there. The rust forming on the metal frame of the bike is a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction is when chemicals mix together and they react to each other in some way. So, you might notice some signs of a chemical reaction. It might be a change of color, or maybe a good smell, or maybe a bad smell, who knows? Or maybe the shape of something changes, or maybe the mixture turns from hot to cold. Or maybe it makes sounds or lights up or even bubbles. Ooh. So, the chemical reaction we are going to experience tonight is between baking soda and Dr. Cookie's secret potion. I'll give you the insight on that in just a few seconds. All right. Can we see my buddy Fred? I think we see Fred. Let me get a little better of a view on Fred. He is the star of the show, not Dr. Cookie. All right, Fred is the star of the show right now. Okay, so for this experiment, if you are following along at home, you are gonna have your pumpkin. It can be carved like Fred is, my best friend, or you can have a bucket of a pumpkin, or it can just be a regular pumpkin with the top off. Whatever is your choice. Have your pumpkin ready. You are gonna have some baking soda, and you are gonna have your own Dr. Cookie's secret potion. I'm gonna let you in on the secret. The secret is vinegar. It's vinegar. It's also 5 drops of dish soap. and some food coloring. It doesn't have to be green. Whoa! Did anyone hear some whispering happening? So, if you have Dr. Cookie's secret potion, now, the event description said that you might want 1/3 of a cup of baking soda and 2/3 of a cup of Dr. Cookie's secret potion. If you have some more, that's okay. You're just gonna get a bigger reaction. But for me, I'm going with 1 cup of baking soda and 2 cups of Dr. Cookie's secret potion because, well, I liked big eruptions. So I see that some of you are waiting to still get your ingredients ready. So we will wait just a moment for those of you who missed the secret. It's vinegar. Vinegar. And a few drops of dish soap and some food coloring. Any color. Any color. Now, like I said, the details online said 1/3 cup of baking soda and 2/3 cups of Dr. Cookie's secret potion. As long as you have double the secret potion to what you have of baking soda, you are okay. So I am using 1 cup of baking soda and 2 cups of Dr. Cookie's secret potion. Now, if you're missing anything, no worries. This video will be posted later as soon as Dr. Cookie can figure out Facebook Live. She'll have to figure out how to post it, but she will get there. No worries. All right. So if you guys are ready, I'm going to take my computer away before it gets all of this on it. All right. Let's get as much stuff away as possible. Dr. Cookie is gonna have to clean up later. Oh. All right. Now, I think everyone is ready. Let's see Fred erupt. All right, you're gonna pour your baking soda in. Just want a big pile right in the middle of Fred. Fred said, "Thank you for feeding me." Dr. Cookie's secret potion is going in 3, 2, 1, 0. Fred! What is happening, Fred? Are you okay? Oh no, Fred! Fred, are you all right? Oh, my poor friend. Oh, Fred, you were a good pumpkin. Oh, but look at that eruption! Oh, now if that isn't spooky science, I don't know what is. So I hope some of you have some cool eruptions at home as well. One little secret I'll let you in on this is you can add some glitter or some other colors, and the more soap you add, the more bubbles that will happen. So, pop! Try this out at home. Make your eruption bigger, and the more baking soda and secret potion you have, the bigger the eruption. All right, well, thank you for joining Dr. Cookie on Spooky Science Night. I'm so glad you girls were able to follow along with our 2 experiments, our ooey gooey density. We'll show that one more time. Oh no, my boogie dissolved. So we have our different ooey gooey liquids, and we have Fred, our erupting pumpkin. All right, hopefully you were able to learn a little bit, and hopefully I will see you again next time, maybe from the Trefoil Laboratories. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Goodbye from Dr. Cookie.